Peace on Earth, Ethan Indigo Smither. I wanted to share a sequence of movements that will absolutely chemically change your composition noticeably. Tai Chi, Qigong, essentially what we'll do right now is some Qigong, but I think of them as kind of being so primal and primordial that they are very much Tai Chi amendments. Um, and they're so simple. In fact, their primordial simplicity is where their power is, or is part of where their power kind of originates. Okay, healing and strengthening are the same routine in herbal systems and Tai Chi as well. So that's why people of any age and or proficiency can benefit from Tai Chi practice. Um, so what I'm doing here is change the system a little bit. Uh, I would preferably be outside, but because of filming limitations, I'm going to be inside. Do practice this inside more preferably. Um, you'll see this shared online a lot. Shaking or bouncing, rooting. Think of it as rooting. Although bouncing and shaking, how I've seen it demonstrated more typically of maybe non Tai Chi or Qigong practitioners, is great too. Rooting is where it's at. Um, so what I'm doing here is relaxing from my waist up, and I'm activating from my waist down. You might get like little spontaneous movement with your upper body, but you're just seeking to have that vibration, right? Go through the entirety of your upper body. That's created with right this type of movement that I'm creating, this shaking, rooting though activity. If you can do this for 20 minutes, I guarantee you will heal whatever is bothering you. You're not gonna, immediately become one of the eight immortals of Taoist doctrine, but this is so helpful. And as I said, it's a chemical change. Just the same as a guaranteed chemical change arrives with and through what they call a runner's high. When you run a minimum of time, you're gonna get a runner's high. Most 99 some whatever 90 some percentage of people will get a runner's high. Same thing with this. What I'm doing is activating all this primordial under, biological understanding in my body. And it's very much activating the same chemical changes that will occur in a runner's high. And you can hear me shaking and breathing a little bit because it's actually quite a powerful exercise. You may not be able to do it for 20 minutes in the beginning, um, not necessarily because of your patience, but just because of the exertion. Um, we're not going to do 20 minutes of this. I just want to teach the fundamentals of this, and I want you to take it um, outside and take it and make it your own. So if this was a less stable structure that I was in, everything would start shaking, right? Trying to make the ground or the building shake. Okay. And the thing about internal arts is we realize that we are responsible for the chemical change and the cure and what have you. And getting primal, that is a powerful thing. We don't have to be aggressive in that format necessarily. But getting primal, that's where our really biological processes can take place. Try for 5 minutes, try for 10 minutes. Um, 20 minutes is the game changer where the complete chemical modification, composition change is going to take place. So internal arts is kind of a self responsibility rather than looking for an external influence for a chemical change. We're looking for the internal performance for a chemical change. Okay, so there's all these vibrating machines that are gaining popularity too. Those are dope. Those are influencing the same type of function as we're getting here, but it's not as active, right? We're not active below our waist, passive above, and we're not getting the runner's high necessarily. Although we're getting some transformation just from the shaking, the vibration. Okay. The second thing I want you to consider is arm swinging. Consider practicing and in this format too. You can practice these on their own, or you can practice them in this order or any order really, but I find this to be the optimal. What I'm doing here is shifting the weight and rotating on the axis. And I can keep my weight on one foot and do it. And that opens things up differently. And what's going on here is I'm creating a twist in my spine and I'm tapping my organs too. But in this twisting format, I'm allowing for relaxation of certain organs actually, but also I'm stimulating the release of synovial fluid in my spine, which causes what are we working on today, class? Chemical composition change, right? No matter what your mind state is in, when you institute these movements with the body, the physical takes over the mind, right? We're going to empower if one is not in a good mental state, for instance, we're going to empower the physical to change the mental. It's very difficult to change the mind with the mind, but it's a lot easier to change the mind with the body. And that's what's going on with the Tai Chi. So I shift my weight. I try not to be, as with everything further, as the same thing, the same principles with healing are also within strengthening, right? I try not to be double weighted, no matter where, no matter how I am doing it. I try to have my weight more on one foot or pouring from one to the other. I try not to be just doing that, right? Just my weight on 2 feet. Try to have this dynamic shifting and getting the circulation going thereby. Okay, so I've shared this before, but to share again now, we've worked on releasing chemical composition change through our glands and organ systems in practicing these things. Again, go for 50 to 100 of those. I'm just trying to condense the demonstration into the presentation here. I usually do 9 of each, but let's do 6. I make smooth, small, subtle circles clockwise, and then counterclockwise. And you can use something for stability. Place your hand on a chair, what have you, or a wall, um, or work on your balance. Right? I just had to make an adjustment for my own balance. So I'm looking at myself. Usually, you'll focus on one thing in front of you, not the screen necessarily. That's probably making it weird. I lost count, but focusing on small, subtle, soft circles, and going for about six, with the knees and neck exceptionally small and subtle. These is the best. With the waist, and you can change your feet position. With the waist, I always tend to do more, and I suggest doing more. This is from where most movement originates, and we're kind of lubricating the system as well with all these chi essences that we just got moving, right? Now, maybe you can try to rotate your waist a different way from from this coordination, right? I'm moving from my waist to the upper body, clockwise and then counterclockwise. These movements are an example of how we can find out that we're not very soft. um, you'll see that you could be softer by way of these movements, right? Because sometimes it's hard to find a way to do these when we're tense and when we're tense in mind and body. Now I'm moving in a circle from my sternum up, and I'm keeping my neck oriented the same. I'm not having it move independently. It's just moving along for the circle of my sternum. Practice. You may not be able to even feel your sternum at first. Now the wrists, and you can play around with these too. Once you get them right, you can do something like this. But the point is, soft circles, soften, in part to change the tone of the way we hold ourselves, but also specifically to enable chemical composition change. And again, you can play around a little bit. Now, with your shoulders, just move the big parts of your shoulder, the shoulder blade, right from behind. Have everything else be along for the ride. I sometimes use my hands to wherever I might place them to engage sensitivity to how my body is moving. Um, now, neck, be again, as I said, extra soft and small and subtle. Okay. These are about the easiest movements we can do, and yet we can spend, I assure you, decades refining these movements and exploring them. especially the arm swings. There are a whole mess of variations and explorations that can benefit. But for those that are healing, I just wanted to share this modality, and understand that all of Tai Chi practice, Qigong practice, is secondarily or sometimes referred to in any case standing practice. And so as you are healing, try to balance how much you stand, sit, lie down, and walk. Normally, in our culture today, and when we are unwell, we are not standing and walking enough, and we are sitting and lying too much. So, really try to stand and walk and even integrate the shaking practice and the arm swings and the circles. One more Tai Chi movement to integrate is commencement, or what is the first movement in practically all, if not all, Tai Chi forms. A variation of. That's it. But I want to move my upper body from my lower body. In fact, a lot of that we just kind of practice with the arm swings and the shaking, right? I want to have a holistic movement, even when it looks like I just do that, right? I'm actually engaging the entirety of my system, and my body. I'm having everything come from the feet and be expressed through the hands. So I hope that's valuable to one or two specific people and the world in general, the world at large, anyway. You might see this. Rising. Right. Structured relaxation. Peace.